My name is Mitch West. I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska. Actually graduated from Southeast High School in town in '06, so I'm 37 years old as of this last January. I grew up in the theater world and didn't have acting and singing chops, so I kind of enjoyed more of the technical side, how our production comes together. Started drumming and did that for about 15 years. That started my interest in kind of the business. All my friends were in bands, and so we were, trying to get booked into venues, promoting each other in middle school of all places at that time. Well, like many of us, it runs the gamut and it depends on the mood. I was raised listening to Broadway music, a lot of classic rock. That's what made me want to be a drummer. I love bands. I love like the Avett Brothers. I love Lake Street Dive. If it's a good show, it's a good show. Matt Carney, Andy Grammer. I mean, the list goes on and on. So it's just too many. If I look at like overall what I listen to as far as decade goes, it's between 90s music, whether it's hip hop, rock, R&B, for sure like early 2000s. But then there's times when I get real stuck in 70s, 80s. I'll listen to music from the 20s and the 30s. I mean, it's hard to pick one. I don't know if there's one. I mean, all of it's important and all of it contributes to everything that people are listening to now, for better or for worse. And so it's like listen to as much of it as you can. Spotify is probably the biggest one. With the catalog and licensing they have, everything is on it. You can make playlists, collaborative playlists. Rarely listen to radio.
Yeah.
But pretty common, if not. I don't know the last time I've heard somebody that's like, yeah, I listen to radio all the time. It's just not a thing anymore. Yeah. Well, I still have cassettes, vinyls, and CDs. Less vinyl than CDs, but more, it's vinyl's coming back for me. There's just something cool about holding something, a big piece of art that you can play. The blessing is access. You can listen to artists from all over the world instantly, just like that. You can share music just like that. Before, it wasn't that easy, but there's something magical about owning something. And you just can't have that with digital anything. It's a hard thing to gauge. I'm tempted to say the past because so much was being done for the first time. So many things, certain stage performances, types of concerts, music discovery, and everything was important in its history and the way it happened and how that reflected on what people wore, how people treated one another. Its influence was different in its own right. I think now, you guys are talking about generations. Every generation says a lot of the same things. My generation had the best music, yours sucks. People don't understand it. So that's always a thing. Millennial is an interesting generation because prior to that, it was a lot more taboo. What people thought was risky, sexy, explicit, offensive. I don't have one side or another. I think if you're raising kids, just be mindful of what's out there. It's a pretty wild thing to just throw this stuff to the wolves and super early on. So it's just kind of be mindful. But then whatever you end up connecting with is whatever you end up connecting with. I think the important thing is, what's the meaning behind it? Is it really pointless? You're just saying words for attention? Or are you really trying to send a message? I don't think it's political as much as it used to be. You still have bands that are and are still very much making statements. And I think that there's probably more that I don't know about, more of an independent level, where bands are trying to do that. It was more common to have more of a political message, especially decades ago. And when you're in wartime, that's gonna bring out activism in all kinds of ways. So, a lot of the best music was built that way. I mean, you have a lot of bands, probably one of the biggest would be like Bob Dylan. A lot of his music, that's most of his music was during times that were very difficult, and he really wanted to connect to people. And how do I not sound like a bitter old man? If it's anything that I say, keep listening to stuff, stop staying in your cave with everything, like music, food, try new things out, listen to new people. Get out. That's probably the most important thing we can do is I hate the term networking, it's just connecting and building relationships. And you might never see them again. The biggest regret is not taking opportunity. So do that shit. And be weird, it's fine. People judge anyway. What do you, just, yeah.